Good morning. It's Coffee with Mr. Karsten. Got my to-go cup and we're on the road. Let me kind of bring you up to speed on these Coffees with Mr. Karsten. We're going to stay on the road and talk a little bit more about the ministry here at the LSA. But we're also going to still offer those Friday mornings in the library. It won't be on camera, but remember those were the invitations out to parents to come and just pray with us, lift up our students in our ministry in prayer, and just talk about some of the things that are going on, time of question and answers. So check our website and let's get back into those Friday mornings, even though we're on the road with Coffee with Mr. Karsten. Today, let's just review a little bit. We've talked about the different reasons why a family should choose to send their student to LSA. And recently we did a parent survey, and the results of that survey continue to show some of the things that we've already talked about. If you came out and asked these families why did they choose LSA, they're choosing it for the Christian education and the spiritual atmosphere, the morals and the values that are taught to their children through the education at LSA. They talk about the K-12 academics and specifically the K-12 campus and environment and the consistency and convenience of having it all on one campus. They talk about this facility. They mention the programs that are so strong here, the music and the art, and such compliments to our faculty, especially in those two areas in our survey. And then, as you see in the background, as we stand here today in our gymnasium, one of the biggest strengths at LSA continues to be the sports program at all ages. So those are the things that have come through in our surveys. But, here's what we're going to do today. We're going on the road. Let's go see if we can find some students and some parents and some faculty. And we're going to ask them what they think is strong about the LSA, why they chose to come to the LSA, what they love about being at the LSA every single day. And then we're going to wrap up by talking about enrollment again. Let's go see if we can find some people to talk to this morning. We found a parent, and the first question I'm going to ask Mrs. Wilcott is, what do you know about Coffee with Mr. Karsten? Have you ever heard of Coffee with Mr. Karsten?
What?
Do you know what Coffee with Mr. Karsten is?
No.
I don't know what that is. No, sir. What is it?
No, not really.
No. No, not really.
No? Okay. Do you know what Coffee with Mr. Karsten is?
Yes, I do.
Excellent, we found one. Do you know what Coffee with Mr. Karsten is?
Yeah, it's where
What is it?
you get in front of the camera and talk with coffee.
And that's what we're doing. Coffee with Mr. Karsten. I'm here in the high school office. This is our principal of the high school, Nathan Richter. Nathan, do you know what Coffee with Mr. Karsten is?
I do. It usually takes about 8 hours a day, so it's not just a Friday morning thing. You can come in and have coffee at any time with Mr. Karsten.
That's great. We got to expand the brand there. Ms. Hicklin is also a parent, and I don't have a cup of coffee to offer you in Coffee with Mr. Karsten, but let me ask you, do you know what Coffee with Mr. Karsten is?
Yes, I have seen the videos.
Excellent. There are people watching.
Yes.
Mrs. Damry is one of our middle school teachers here at the LSA. Do you know what Coffee with Mr. Karsten is?
I do know what Coffee with Mr. Karsten is.
There are a few. I'm here with Mrs. Hoagland. She's our elementary music teacher. Do you know what Coffee with Mr. Karsten is?
Yes, I do.
See, we're getting somewhere. Well, I'm down here in the elementary room of our first grade, and these are our two first grade teachers, and we're just asking people first, do you know what Coffee with Mr. Karsten is?
Yes. Yes, I know what it is.
Have you ever watched any of the YouTube videos?
Yes, I have. No, I haven't.
Your son Keenan's in the high school. You've been at the LSA for several years, even before the high school. Why did you choose the LSA? What are the strengths that are offered to your family?
Number one, it's a Christian school, and it's the biggest Christian school in Decatur. And our son was at a very, very small Christian school before we came here in 5th grade. And I just love, because that's so much of who our family is, our Christians, and we try to live it 24/7. It's wonderful to have parents and teachers where as you hear needs and concerns, you have no problem. You can just stop in the hall or wherever you are and pray. and nobody's going to get freaked out about it.
Definitely a Christian school, one of the biggest strengths. What would you say to a new family who's here in Decatur and would be thinking about putting their son or daughter in the LSA?
Well, I can't imagine wanting to be anyplace else. The education here, I really sense you say college prep, and I believe that's happening. I mean, our son is in the level of homework, not, this won't sound good to the student, but there's a lot of homework. And these kids are learning how to do college long before they get to college.
They provide great sports, and they have a great basketball and football team, great track team. We won state last year, and we didn't win state since like 1996, I think it was. So that was a pretty big thing for us last year. Academic-wise, the teachers are here. Like they actually want to help you, and like they care for you, and they really want you to be something. And it's not just, they don't just think about school right now, they think about your future, like college-wise and your GPA scores, and it's a real good school.
I like how I'm always with my friends, and the teachers are really friendly and always think about your future.
I like how it's a low atmosphere. The sports teams are good. Just being here is great. I mean, I wouldn't imagine myself going to any other school.
It's a good Christian environment. It's good where lots of kids can be together, and it's just a safe place for Christians to be in Decatur. So,
What do you like about this school?
Well, I like it because I know a lot of people here, and the teachers, they're very nice, and they like to work with you. Because unlike public schools where I went to before, you don't get the help as much, and you're more on your own. But here, it's provided for you. It's a lot easier.
I like the fact that it's a private school and the teachers are very personable, and you have freedom of religion, and you can, you can be with God and pray and stuff you can't do in public schools.
My teachers. I like going to art. My sister goes to school with me. I like my teachers. Recess. My teacher. Cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders? What do you like?
Basketball players.
The school is very nice. I absolutely love all the teachers and the other students here. They're all very nice and very helpful.
I like that it has a Christian environment and friendly people and nice teachers.
Mrs. Mize is a parent and a teacher in our high school. What would you say is a strength or two of the LSA?
Well, I just enjoy the opportunity to teach here, and also that my kids can go here and we can all be in the same building in a Christian environment every day.
You're principal of the high school. It's in your second year. What would you say to families at any age level of some of the strengths of the LSA?
One of the things is we're going to prepare your kid for what's next. In the elementary, we're getting them ready for middle school. In middle school, it's preparing them for high school, and high school is getting them ready for college. And so everything is future and goal-oriented in the education of your child. They will leave here fully prepared for whatever's next in their life. And then we provide a Christ-centered education that's going to allow them to grow up to be the person they are, find out their spiritual gifts, who they are, their talents, and now how can I use them in my life and in the world.
As a parent and as a high school staff member, what would you say are the strengths of the LSA?
Obviously, the Christian atmosphere and just the open spirituality that goes on, and just the safe environment. People who want to be here are here, and I love that. So, and the teachers want to be here. So,
what do you like about the strength of the art program?
I like that we do different things. He really helps you out. Like if you need help, he'll help you with whatever. And it's cool, it's fun.
Coming from a public school, I would say being able to worship my Heavenly Father in an atmosphere that's allowed is really remarkable and something that you don't get in public school, and I really appreciate that.
Craig is one of our premier athletes in basketball and baseball. And we were talking about the baseball program. What do you look forward to, and what has been some of the strengths of the athletics?
Just getting good coaches to come here and help us learn and grow as athletes and just become better Christian young men and just help us become successful in our sports.
We were talking about the success of the baseball program and what's kind of coming next. What do you think about all that?
We've had some success, but I think we can do more. Regionals was kind of good last year, but we kind of had a bust in sectionals, and hopefully we can just win sectionals this year and keep going.
And there's a new baseball field coming out, right?
Yep, hopefully.
I really think our children are really responsive to the teachers. I think they're responsive to the Word of Christ. And that, I think, is the first thing that we're here to do, is share the Word of Christ with everybody. And I really think they're motivated to accomplish whatever we ask them to do. Overall, that's the truth, and I think that's great.
I really like a lot of the people I work with. We're a team, and so it's really nice to have the support from other teachers, especially when we get to music program time, and the kids really get to see the teachers working as a team, and it helps me to have such great colleagues that I don't go a little bit crazy during times when I'm getting concerts ready. So that's a good thing. And I really like just that here the kids get a really well-rounded education, that we are putting an emphasis on arts, both music and art in terms of drawing, because a lot of schools are not doing that at the moment.
Mr. Greavy is one of our middle school teachers. He's new to the LSA this year. What is, in your opinion now, in this time that you've been here, some of the strengths of the LSA?
I think probably one of the biggest strengths is just being able to share our faith and talk about God, and try to develop that in our students.
We met Mr. Groth, our high school art teacher, on a previous YouTube video with Coffee with Mr. Karsten, and he's in his second year here at LSA. What do you think are some of the strengths of this school?
I would say one of the main strengths, or the main strength, is that all the educators, the teachers, are just so deeply passionate for just the love of God, and thinking about how can they show that love to the students. I'm not sure if that's always noticed by the students, but in talking with the different teachers and everything, that's always on our mind, is how can that mission in our classroom, and even just like the small interactions, be the driving force for how we interact with students and the decisions that we make. And really, I think from that stems a lot of things. We've, especially at the high school level, been trying to think about how can we make our lesson plans better, how can we engage the students more. We talked a lot about how do you just love the students and tell them hey, I love you, because Nathan said last year, he's like, sometimes you just have to tell students that you love them in order for them to understand. But really, I think for me personally, that's really kind of helped me orient myself, thinking about, okay, yeah, how do I show the love of Christ, especially to every student?
That's excellent. Thank you.
I think the LSA has a different atmosphere. I think, we teach Jesus and his love, and we teach forgiveness and loving each other. And so I would say the biggest thing about LSA is the atmosphere, the Christian atmosphere.
Excellent.
I was just going to say that being able to share Christ through the curriculum, we can bring him into science and social studies and everything that we teach, and that's very important.
You've toured the place, and you've already started to see something about the LSA. What do you think about this school already?
It's definitely friendly. Everyone's so welcoming and nice, and I feel part of it already.
I've seen a lot of positive. Everybody is happy, and it just seems like a warm and welcome and friendly place.
Very good. Susan Keene, our admissions director, has toured several families. What do you think is the strength that you share the most with our school?
Quite honestly, I will say I think it's the teachers, it's the relationships that we build with the teachers and our families. But Allison is a great example. Yesterday, we walked into choir and the girls all stood up and were like, "Is she new? Is she coming?" And we're so excited, and literally swarmed her. So I think it's the very welcoming aspect of our students. We encourage new students to come in, and we do welcome all of them with open arms.
I'm here with our elementary principal, Lisa Dipple, and Lisa's been at the elementary administrative position for about 7 or 8 years now. And with the school the way it is today and some of the things that are going on, what are some of the strengths that you share with prospective families and that we remind our current families about?
Just the opportunity on a daily basis to be able to encourage the children, to be able to build them up in God's Word, to be able to build them up in God's love. But knowing, too, that there is a close relationship, that the children can work with the teachers, that the teachers are going to be open to working with the families. The opportunity I have to be able to interact with the children, to be able to really react with them and help them to look at their own abilities and the way that they use those in trying to build them up as leaders. It's just important for them to understand that each one of them plays an important role in the lives of other students within their classrooms and how they can be a positive influence in a variety of ways.
We're here in the main office now with Mrs. McCormick. She's our business manager here at LSA. And you've seen some of the strengths of our school. What would you share with us today about a strength or two of the LSA?
Here at the LSA, we are passionate about educating children, especially educating children in the knowledge of Jesus Christ and the impact that it will have on their entire future and in their entire life.
So Coffee with Mr. Karsten today has just gotten personal. We've talked with faculty and we've talked with parents and students, and we've just asked them, what do you like about the LSA? What do you think are our strengths? And you hear a common thread of relationships, and especially that relationship that we try to develop in every aspect of our ministry, and that relationship with Jesus Christ. Enrollment is going on academically, programmatically, and spiritually. Our mission statement says it all, that we're here to provide excellence in a Christ-centered environment to develop our students emotionally, spiritually, and academically. But just contact us. Our website, lsadecatur.net or 233-2001 for a personal tour and see if we can be in ministry in partnership with you and your family. To God be the glory.